The State House race continues to shape up, and here at KBC Channel 1, we're giving you a 360 degrees coverage, wall-to-wall coverage, an exclusive view into the race as it shapes up, as well as races across the country, including the gubernatorial, the senatorial, the woman rep position, the member of parliament, and the member of the county assembly. We want to head over to Kabete in Kiambu County. Let's listen in of what is happening, what is happening in Kabete.
Gender 653 votes. Gender Weeks Mwevi 6,057 votes. Thiongo Ede Wamboi 1,297 votes. Wamashukuru James Gidua Kamau 49,000. I want to take this opportunity then to present this certificate of elected member of National Assembly to Mr. Mheshimiwa James Gidua Kamau.
Mwenyezi Mungu kwa kunipa nafasi tena ya kuwa mtumishi ya watu wa Kabete. Pia nataka niwashukuru wana Kabete pia kwa kunipa nafasi niweze kuwafanyia kazi kwa zamu ingine ya miaka ingine mitano. Nataka pia niwashukuru familia yangu ambao pia imenishikilia, na nishukuru pia wote ambao tumeshirikiana nao katika hii kazi ndio tukaweza kupata hii. Nashukuru tumepiga siasa pamoja, na nataka niwakaribishe katika sisi yetu, tufanye kazi pamoja, tushirikiane kwa umoja. Hiyo mambo ambayo walikuwa wanasema wangependa tufanyie Kabete, wakati ndio huu. Wakuje tuungane mkono, tumeweza kubadilisha Kabete yetu.
That's Gedua of Schools, what you would say, Gedua Amashukuru, Member of Parliament for Kabete, getting a second term on a UDA ticket. He was elected in 2017, now has gotten a second term. You can see his election there. That footage is from earlier, as the presiding officer or rather the returning officer at the Kabete constituency was announcing those results. On this end of studio, I have Bernard Mweru. He's the Digital Marketing and Partnership Manager at Africa 118. It's a company that deals with issues, social media and digital marketing. We'll talk to him about what you're seeing on social media and about now. On the other end, Victor Lo is also with Wakili, and we'll be cross-engaging. Let's start with what we're seeing on social media. And first of all, the biggest question would be, can social media be a contributant to a strife?
Yeah, so thank you so much for having me. My name is Bernard Mweru, and I'm glad to be here this morning.
Oh.
Yeah, so as per your question, yes, there is a lot of misinformation on social, and more so Twitter being the kind of a decision maker during these kind of political sessions. And of course, Facebook as well. There's so much information that is being shared that is untrue or not verified. And there's those people who believe that's their source of information. There's that kind of a section of people who rely on that kind of information. And you see, when people just share information live, there are chances of this information landing to a person who is relying on that information 100%. And at the end of the day, that person is, this is what I need, this is what I'm gonna go with, this is the winner, this is the loser. Which of course we have seen. There are people who have gone and shared information of someone who won, And when the Iebc comes and mentions who won on that area, then someone different. So I would say social media is impacting a lot of misinformation currently, and it's high time that people at least verify, maybe from other credible sources out here in the Kenyan nation.
You talk about misinformation. You probably could tell us what misinformation is, and as you tell us about it, tell us what also disinformation is, and in relation to the context of election.
Yeah, so as mentioned, I would say misinformation are any uncredible information, or rather uncredible content. Something that is not verified, something that is not verified if it is true or untrue. In terms of misinformation, I think the relationship is similar, but the thing is there's a lot of untrue and verified kind of information that is being shared on social media. And in terms of how it is impacting the election, people are eager. They want to know who won, who didn't win, and where are we in terms of numbers. We have seen number one, maybe 50%, 48%, 50%, that kind of percentage. But there are people who their source of information is social media. And the people there, they lack maybe the journalistic kind of ethics and skills to relay information. That's what I would say.
Is social media, first of all, as you talk about a notification at some point, but in terms of credibility, can social media be a source of information?
To some extent it would, because we have credible sources that are also on social media. There's a page that you can go and it shares the true or rather the credible information. Whereas there are people out there who are or rather they are kind of influencers per se, that bring uncredible information from their sources, who of course maybe they are competitors or people who are vying and people supporting some of those people who are vying. Yeah.
Wakili, as you ventilate into this, and of course letting Victor alone, there are parties or agents of political parties who have already called this election to their favor, sometimes even posting numbers. It is an election offense because Iebc has already said the only people who can declare or call an election is the institution called Iebc. But it appears like either the Iebc's hands are tied, or they just don't want to act. Wakili?
Keoria, and I think I've listened to Bernard, I believe, on the issue of social media. And to be honest, there are very many consumers of the social media. And that's why there was the Kenyan Information and Communication Act, which was amended in 2019, and to put some laws to regulate the usage of the social media, and to be specific, WhatsApp, and even blogs. Yeah. So I think as much as Iebc are requesting social media users to refrain from posting unverified information, it now becomes the role of the Communication Authority of Kenya, and of course in conjunction, because it's a criminal, it becomes an act once you contravene the Kenyan Information and Communication Act of 2019, which now has put laws. If you are a blogger, the act requires that you obtain a license. The information you post must be authentic. But now the problem is there has been non-enforcement of that particular act. That's why very many people are misusing the social media. And to be precise, Keoria and my brother Bernard, this social media, if not properly guarded, may precipitate and cause a lot of tension, and actually even provoke Kenyans to think of engaging in some sort of violence. Remember, Keoria, as we speak, there is social media violence, where people are fighting online, using words, of course. What happens if the same goes to the ground? So I think the way we have requested the mainstream media, and I think, as I said earlier, I commended Iebc for only displaying the verified results. Let's also, even all social media platforms, they need to be cautious and actually the Ministry of Information actually should now start taking action, on abusers, misusers of social media, because if you want to post something, because many people, even myself, when I was at the village, Victor, I was following the results mostly from social media to know who has won. Because sometimes the mainstream media may have already given that information, so you refer to social media. So there needs to be proper mechanisms to guard the social media. But more importantly, I think we need to have a sense of responsibility as Kenyans, and try to adhere to some of these regulations because they are in the better good of our nation. Because if you cause tension, if you spread unverified information, because in some areas a blogger will say so and so has won, but in the real sense the other candidate has
Which
won.
we actually saw all the way from Tuesday.
Yes.
Right.
That's what is happening. I saw one in Kilifi where they were saying Aisha Juma has won, was governor.
Yes.
But now what I saw,
That's
it
a
is
classic
Mungaro.
example.
Exactly. That's a classic example. Another one I saw was for Langata, where they initially said Koril has won. Then the next day I saw Jalango has won. But now the
Koril
good thing,
conceding defeat.
but the good thing Koril conceded. So I think these social media, if not properly addressed, they may bring an issue.
Yeah. And perhaps, Kiro, maybe just chip in. Perhaps that is why in some jurisdictions, government resorts to shutting down social media during the campaign period. But, CS Matiang'i said that's not what they're going to do. Now we can easily see and clearly see what is happening on social media. I can easily say the amount of stress and tension and depression people are getting on social media at this particular time is quite enormous. What do you think about that on that side?
Bernard.
Yeah, I think we can take a case in Uganda last election. They shut down all social media. Like you could not go to the internet unless you use a VPN. And I think where we sit now in Kenya, it becomes hard. But they notified the social media platforms that we are going to have an election period, kindly filter some of this information. And I've seen some bloggers losing accounts on their Twitter accounts, their Facebook accounts. So this is to say the social media platforms have also stepped in. For now, there are some that used to tweet and post in the last 2 weeks, but now the accounts are off. They're opening new accounts because the social media platforms have come through. And of course, taking the Bwananchi seriously in terms of what they need to protect. But of course, because this is a bot, there are some words that are not going to be filtered because what they do is they get some few keywords and then they feed on their system. And if any kind of this keyword appears, then the post is brought down. But also even us ourselves, we have the mandate also to control. I'm sure for Facebook, if you shake your phone on Facebook, you have a chance to report. I don't know if people know that you can shake your phone when you're on Facebook, then you'll be given a pop-up where you can report a post that you feel it's misinformation or rather it's not sharing the right and credible kind of information. Yeah, so I think we are heading there. But if you look at it holistically in terms of Africa elections, I think we are somewhere and not maybe to a level of maybe a country like Uganda where they were last time.
All right. The thing about Kenya is a fragile democracy, for that matter, a young democracy while at it, but a very progressive constitution that guarantees everybody the freedom of expression. Yesterday, so I think Twitter flagged a post by Martha Karua, the deputy president candidate for Azimio. How do you balance between censorship for the interest of country and freedom of expression?
That becomes hard, and that is what the social media platforms are struggling with. Because at the same time, they want to give us the freedom of expression, they want us to use their platforms, and they are even sure that after this election, they will have gained some numbers. So, they're also in business at a certain time. Whereas on this other end, we want to give the freedom of expression and have people talk and have people share ideas and maybe what they can do in terms of election, how they can handle themselves and who to support and who not to support. So I think hand in hand, there are some unmanageable scenarios. But as I said, the social media platforms, they already have the names of who is vying. And I'm sure for them, they are being monitored by a human being and not a bot. So that's the reason maybe why Mother Karua Post was brought down or was flagged down, because there's someone behind the scenes who are watching all their content, all those guys who are vying. Of course, on the higher positions. Yeah.
When it comes to social media and relaying of information, like you've said, social media can also be a source of information.
Yeah.
But there's a question of who should we trust then? That this one comes with credible information. The other one is just a rumor monger.
Yes, so I think it's a personal choice and personal decision on who you support, because I know even you individually, you know the sources that you rely on to and the sources that are true and they are not biased in any way, because we even have TV stations that are biased. Right now, we have radio stations which we know they are pushing a certain agenda. So I think, and even we, Wananchi, we shouldn't be, because I support someone and a certain media station is supporting a certain politician, then that will be my source of information. The government, or rather IEBC itself, has said we are the only one who are sharing the right and credible information, and all the other media houses are relying on their information. It's only that maybe the time and period and where they are starting from differs. But I would urge any Mwananchi out there, there are social media platforms for IEBC. Those are some of the platforms that you should follow, and of course the media houses that everyone out there trusts. Those are the credible sources that maybe you should be able to watch and follow.
All right, walk us through the process of verification, for example, as an empowerment tool to those watching us and are relying probably on social media, because wherever they are, the only thing they can access is social media. How then do you verify that what I have seen is indeed true?
Yeah, so let's start from blogging, of course, which is hard to verify because maybe some of the Wananchi, they don't have maybe the skills to verify on that. But mostly what I look at is the domain name. The domain name. There's someone maybe who will create, maybe this is kbc.co.ke, and maybe someone will go and create another domain, kbc.com. Those are two different domains, and they're sharing different information. So you may land yourself in a certain domain thinking, this is the KBC that I usually follow. This is their website. This is their portal. And when you log in there, you find that the information being shared there is not credible, or rather they get misinformed because they thought they're relying on KBC, which is not true. The other thing is also social pages. There are so many pseudo accounts, and the good thing that with social media platforms is that they have verified. There's a blue tick on any verifying kind of social media platform belonging to any media house. There's a blue tick. That is to say, that's the page. That is the profile that you need to follow, and not any other thing that has been created there. Because even now, if you go to social media platform, maybe say Facebook, and you check KBC, you'll see a lot of different pages belonging to KBC. But the verified one and the true one is the one with the blue tick. And that's what I urge all media houses. Get verified on Twitter, get verified on Facebook, so that the audience there can be able to trust you as a credible media house.
You talk about the blue badge, because it is given on Facebook as well as on Twitter. I think even Instagram is also giving the blue badge. But the problem with this blue badge, sometimes it has been given to politicians or people of influence because they have followers, and they are also peddlers of disinformation or information. But the blue badge still confuses the person watching it to make it look like it's credible. How do you deal with that?
Yes, so I know there are some crooked individuals that they have the blue badge. And what maybe this social media platform look as is the following, your engagement, how far you have come, what is your status, maybe you're an editor or maybe you're a TV presenter, and you're attached to a certain media house. But you see, maybe when you left and go log outside there, when you leave this media house, you won't report back and say, you see, you verified me because I was working for KBC. Kindly now remove the blue badge. I'm now on myself, sharing my own information. There's not that kind of follow-up. But it's good to know, like any Mwananchi out there, to know who you're following and who are you relying your information on, because that's something that is individually. But we have people there who are credible, and you can follow up, and you can even verify from the credible sources like Iebc currently, who are sharing the real and credible information as of now.
All right, let me throw it to you, Victor, to engage Wakili, and then also Kamono and add some points.
Before I engage Wakili, on the split screen we have got 2 live pictures. That is one from Madeira constituency and another one from Bomas of Kenya. Perhaps, Director, if we could just head to Madeira and get to listen to the nuts. What's happening from Madeira? Those are live pictures from Madeira constituency and another one from Bomas of Kenya. As we promised earlier, this is a place that you'll be getting that 360 degrees coverage on this historic election, the transition election as we know it, because a lot is at stake. Iebc, we are also waiting for the next address by Wafula Chebukati, but the way it seems, everything is still slow at the Uchaguzi Hall at the Bomas of Kenya, and that should be the returning officer in Madeira. You're yet to hear what is happening there. All right, so we are talking about social media, and an expert in studio, and I have Wakili in studio. Now, there are certain limitations legally as far as the use of social media is concerned. Have we reached a position where an action is punitive by law in Kenya, so to speak?
Yes, Victor. we have the amended Kenya Information and Communication Act of 2019, where now it has placed regulations and offenses with the use of social media. It's now actually an offense to contravene those particular regulations. But now the problem, as I said earlier, is enforcement.
Enforcement. That was my next question.
Enforcement.
Yes.
Yes.
It seems like it's a silent kind of law.
Yes, because I've heard my brother Bernard say that in some countries like Uganda, in times like this one, social media is completely shut down.
Yeah, there's a blackout.
I would advocate for that in Kenya.
You would advocate?
I would not. I would not advocate for that. As Kiore said, Article 33 of the Constitution is very clear. Freedom of expression. It must be safeguarded. I don't know whether freedom of expression is a right is in Uganda. I don't know. But in Kenya, we know there is freedom of expression. Article 33. And the Constitution is supreme to any other statute. So as much as we have the Kenya Information and Communication Act, we have the Constitution. But now the issue here, and actually what I would request the relevant institution, and this case is the Communication Authority of Kenya in conjunction with the DCI, they need to start taking action. Whereby the laws are very clear. If you are a blogger, for example, you are supposed to have a license. If you are a WhatsApp admin or maybe a Facebook admin, you must verify every information which is posted in that particular group. And if the information will cause maybe hate speech or spread unverified and information which can actually initiate some level of violence, then I think action must be taken early enough, not too late. So we need to see the Communication Authority of Kenya at work. We need to see the DCI at work now. And of course, anybody, any Kenyan, can launch a complaint. Yeah, so it also becomes a responsibility of every Kenyan. How will you, Victor, know a WhatsApp group in a place called Teso or a place called Wajia, where the members are spreading information which can actually cause tension? How will you know? So it becomes a responsibility of the members of that particular group. Somebody needs to launch a complaint.
Yes.
Because the police will not act on an existing complaint.
But then even with all these things happening, then we have to throw it back to the law enforcement officers.
Yes.
For lack of action.
Yes. And you see now the problem with this one, Victor, if you report somebody,
yes,
by the time action is taken, our remaining 7 days, the few 4 days will be over. Before somebody is arrested, arraigned in court, taken to court, and there is judgment. The time will be over, and of course, if that person initiated violence through their post, whatever action will be taken on them will be too late.
Okay.
So it is a matter of a sense of responsibility by every Kenyan.
Okay. Yeah. I will ask you this question, and probably Bernard, you can also chip in. Is social media a blessing in disguise? I'm asking this question because throughout the campaign period, we saw almost all the political parties having their social media platforms running. They never depended on mainstream media. They invested on social media to transmit their rallies. So to an extent, is it a blessing in disguise for us as Kenyans?
Actually, I will not say a blessing in disguise. I'll say it is a blessing. Not in disguise. It is a blessing. But now, it is, now, the opposite of blessing is curse. Now you can say curse in disguise.
Yeah.
I don't know. But in my opinion, it is a blessing. But now it depends on how we use it. There must be proper use of the social media.
Yes.
Because as a lawyer, I can tell you, when I was at home voting, I did several cases at home. Yeah, I can log in to Microsoft Teams and Zoom and do my matters there.
Yeah.
It has really helped. Actually, these virtual courts came as a result of social media. Yeah, that's why now we have these social media platforms, which are even being used. Even now, even to Iebc now, these forms are transmitted via social media. Very fast. Take a picture, WhatsApp, you send. Very fast.
Yeah.
So instead of in the past, somebody had to go to cyber, scan, and send. There's no electricity.
There's a network problem in the cyber.
Yeah. So it is a blessing. Yeah. But now we have to use it well, because it can be also used to cause fear, because some candidates, Victor, as you have said, did not even go to the ground. Some were campaigning via social media. That's where now bloggers were in a permanent employment, where they are doing all those manner of posts, campaigning, spreading propaganda. And you know, propaganda sometimes really affects the reasoning of the voter.
Yes.
Like as our propaganda being spread that now there's an agreement between some candidates, so and so are stepped down, and the voters will go there and vote for the other person and say, oh, he stepped down, and it is propaganda. So I think there needs to be a regulation, and that's why we have these amended acts, where now the social media usage must be regulated.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, before we come to you, Bernard, let's go to Madira now and listen to the returning officer. Straight to Madira.
649 votes. Votes. Minor Carton Machine, 1,920 votes. Minor Gerard Mashera, 449 votes. Mudoko Sare Serome Wangui, 1,644 votes. Ndagita Anthony Murithi Maina, 12,880 votes. Washira Peter Kilitu, 470 votes. Wamai Emma Manjiro, 524 votes. Total votes cast 13,063 votes. Ejected ballots 192. I declare Davita Anthony Murithi Maina Davita Anthony Murithi Maina to be the member of County Assembly Ward for Kirimukuyu Ward. Member elect. Chief Agents, kindly come and sign for me. Chief Agents. Anthony Murithi, who garnered 3,758 votes. Kariuki Linet Wamuyo, 348 votes. Maina Joel Gishuru, 782 votes. Murithi Paul Dirijo, 1,958 votes. Mwangi Rusi Wamboye, who garnered 360 votes. Ngoji James Kibira, who garnered 564 votes. Wero Wasson Rugo, 10,080 votes. And therefore, Wero Wasson Rugo, having garnered the majority votes, is hereby declared the MCA elect for Karatina Township.
Kenya as well as Mathira constituency in Nyeri County. The returning officer there has just declared the results from Karatina Township ward. And I'm sure in this session is where they will declare the MP elect for Mathira constituency. But just what you've seen there is a declaration of the MCA for Karatina Township ward. We are also live from the Bomas of Kenya, where we expect a status update from Mofula Chebukati, the chairperson of the Iebc. But you can see the floor is quite busy at the Bomas of Kenya as political party agents and Iebc officials collect data and verify before it is posted on the portal as official results verified from forms 34A and B is the physical ones and the pictures taken at the polling station. Let's head over to Kilifi County now. Junaid Karisa is back again. This time she'll tell us in which constituency of Kilifi County and what is happening there. Junaid, good morning.
Morning, Kyoria. I'm coming to you live from Kilifi North constituency at the Pwani University. This is the county tallying center. And
Bado. Hebu kauika na maji.